We're back with growing questions about the potential uses and abuses of drones. The Super Bowl on Sunday was declared a no-drone zone. Last week, a drone crashed on the White House lawn, and another crashed near the U.S.-Mexico border, loaded with 6 pounds of meth. The FAA says drones can be used only for personal use. But everyone from photographers to conservationists to real estate agents wants to use them for commercial purposes. Amazon even wants to test drones for delivering packages to customers. But what about privacy and security? We've already seen that a drone can be modified to carry a paintball gun that accurately hit its targets. Recently, I talked with John Resnick, who works for the company that makes the drone that crashed at the White House, and asked what they're doing to prevent another accident.
It's actually an extension of our no-fly program that we started last year, and expanding it to the D.C. no-fly zone was pretty much a no-brainer.
How easy are these drones to learn to fly?
Well, they're easier than older-style RC aircraft, the traditional model aircraft, but they do still take some practice.
Let's see it fly.
Here we go. You can see I can control how high it goes, how low it goes, left, right, forward, back. It normally will use GPS technology to know its position in space. But right now we're indoors, so it's going to tend to wander around a little bit.
But you're controlling all of this movement.
Yes, I am, with these sticks right here. So
how long can one of these fly over us?
Our battery, we promote our battery life for as long as 25 minutes, but in reality, it really depends on how you're flying and what the weather conditions are like.
All right, we'll bring it down so we can talk a little bit.
Yeah, potential uses are myriad. All kinds of folks are looking at using these. Besides just like photographers, we're talking about search and rescue folks, agriculture, conservation, forestry.
How difficult is it to modify a drone? After the White House incident, we heard people talking about whether you could attach an explosive or something to one.
I can't speak for other manufacturers, but we work all the time at maintaining the security of our drones, the software security of our drones, so that they're very difficult to actually alter.
Let's see it fly again.
All righty. Here we go.
John Resnick, I appreciate the demonstration, both of them. Thank you for your time.
Not a problem.
Joining me now is Izzy Lepowski, staff writer at Wired magazine. The February issue of Wired is out now and features an article on the use of delivery drones and the rise of this technology around the world. Thanks for being here, first of all.
Thanks for having me.
Do you expect drone use to surge over the next decade?
Oh, absolutely. And it's only going to get more popular once the FAA comes out with its rules around drone use. Right now, drones are sort of in this gray area. People don't know what is legal, how they're allowed to use it. And once the FAA releases its rules, I think people will be a lot more interested, especially the more people use it and post what they're doing with drones on social media. As they collect videos and photos that they're collecting with their drones on Instagram, people see it and people want to get their hands on that too.
You know, some countries are already allowing drones for commercialism, like a pizza delivery drone in Russia. You just enter the coordinates and for your location, and it lowers a pizza down on a line. Or an ambulance drone being tested in Belgium that could offer emergency assistance in just minutes. What do private companies envision for the future when they think about drones?
I think that there's everything. I mean, we've seen companies companies in Bhutan delivering medical supplies to rural towns. You're seeing wedding photographers who want to use this to, take really out of control photos. So I think that it's really runs the gamut. And once these rules are out, then people will find more and more applications that we've never even dreamed of today.
But how will the FAA address safety concerns? Is there any way to make sure drones don't get where they're not supposed to be? We don't seem to have our arms around this yet.
That's the thing. They're going to have to release some rules around how businesses can use it. Already, recreational use is legal as long as you're flying under 400 feet. Again, that's pretty hard to enforce. You can set the rule, but it's pretty hard to enforce. There is a lot of talk of licensing, and we're not really sure what would go into such a license.
But there's the problem, is because if we are not enforcing it, I mean, are fears over malicious use of drones legitimate? We've already seen that a drone could be equipped to deal with a paintball gun.
I think they're absolutely legitimate, and this is going to be an effort not just by the FAA, but the National Counterterrorism Center. They're going to have to work together because the FAA is used to regulating airspace. We're going to need a lot more help to figure out how to combat terrorism and other misuses.
All right, Issy Lepowski, thank you so much for your time tonight. And you can read more in the February issue of Wired, available now. Still ahead, Governor Christie and the vaccine controversy. Was it a gaffe or a play to the base? Also, what are people saying about The Call and Katy Perry's halftime show? But first, how Speaker Boehner is a lot like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. It's tonight's Gotcha.